Hello everybody! Is everything broken in game and out of game in the Summoners Market and other places? It could very much well be. Hopefully you've been able to buy something if you've been buying stuff, and hopefully if you're non-spending, you've been approaching this how you want to approach it. This video is going to be very much free to play, orientated and focused, but there is some bits at the end towards those that are spending a bit. But to be honest, this is actually a very all player friendly event, including free to play. You might have noticed, first of all, this video has been separated into 3 parts. The other thing that you might notice is that in the Summoners Market, there's actually a really cool way to get some nice stuff. If you are different progressions, it will look very different to you. This is my one right here. And you can see that for these early I can't say steps, sir, because first of all, yes, it is highly likely that on Friday, you'll be able to pick up, as a non-spending player, any player, by the way, for free, a 7-star Nexus crystal. That's, of course, depending if you are Valiant. It will vary player by player, progression by progression. I did some quick totals for this, and because I sit on 8 points right here, you can see it says 8 points right there, that I and any other free-to-play player will not be able to get higher or as high to get the tier 7 basic. In fact, if you've collected 8 points right now, you will only be able to get a further 18 points overall. 2 points on Friday, 2 points on Saturday, 2 points on Sunday, which give you 6, plus the 8 you'll get on Monday, because you'll collect 2 and the 6 for the 7-day. That will get you up to 14 points, plus the 2 on Tuesday, getting you to 16 points, and then Wednesday with the 18 points, because you won't be able to claim on Thursday. So yes, that kind of clarifies that. So you will be able to get this one, but you won't be able to get any more. So not great, but also fine, because it's free stuff. It's just free, and that's good. Free is nice. You'll also be able to get, I think, close to, you'll get another 250 Summoners Fest points if you're collecting. But if you already collected your +6 points today, or your +2 earlier to the day, maybe before 7 p.m. UK time, or 11 a.m. PST time, or 10 a.m. PST, depending on the time frame where you are in the world, you wouldn't be able to do that. You'll always be able to collect the 7-star Nexus, which is nice, so at least gives you some points. And of course, as we know, points means prizes in this particular event. Part 2 to the video is all about the solo event itself, and of course, points mean prizes. We go to collect that particular 7-star Nexus crystal if you've collected the promo code, which we talked about in a couple of videos today. And as well, you climb up the milestone, you're able to get a nice amount of Valiant base crystals, or kind of Paragon crystals, or whatever crystals, depending on what you're picking up. And of course, you can reinvest that. I don't know if everybody's got access to the Blade and Boulder, but everybody should have the sword. Is it sword and boulder? Sword and stone. You'll have the sword and stone, but I'm not sure if everybody gets Blade and Boulder, because it does seem that it's like a more higher end type of thing. Now, to be completely literal about the farming aspects, we could break it down as follows. As you can see on screen right now, this kind of like makes it a little bit larger so we can see this a bit better. Okay. If you're being completely literal about it, it is 500 fights with any champ, because you get 10 points a time. Or if you're using a saga-based champion, as per the in-game information. Although I must point out that someone messaged me to say that they just did one fight in Road to Labyrinth and got 50 points per fight. I don't know what's going on. Like, there could be anything and everything broken when it comes to MCOC and things not being correct. However, at least you'll know that there's some information there. It may play out how it plays out. I'm not necessarily saying that that's what you should do, is go to Road to Labyrinth and just kind of auto-fight it through. That seems like a waste of energy. But it depends on what you're doing. Like, at this moment in time, I'm covering this, so I've got like time that I can just auto-fight through. If I'm editing a video, then I just need to put it on auto-fight and kind of farm points at the same time. But I personally like to either do a little bit of arena farming, a little bit of just kind of playing the game over the next week. And with it being 250 fights, that seems actually pretty doable, because you probably do in the region of about, what, 20 to 30 if you're a casual player, 50 if you're a kind of like playing this game a lot, and even more if you're playing game a lot more. But that's incredibly literal. The second way to kind of approach this is to to chop it up. Like these three things right here, which I'm going to put into red, you actually kind of like get. Like you don't have to do anything for it. You literally get that amount of points right off the bat. Depending obviously on progression, but you literally get all those things. So that means the more points that you get from doing different stuff, like well, ranking up 3 7-star champions, saga champions in particular, you may find you're doing that like soon. You may want to rank up your thing. You may want to rank up Joaquin Torres, Gallon, Omega Sentinel, who I think is coming into the basic pool at some stage. So there's going to be opportunity for you to do that and rank up those champions. So maybe think about that as an approach, ranking up some 7-stars and taking the points off of it. So it means you got to farm less amount of points with saga champions in modes, but you're in a fighting game, and I say that we're in a fighting game, we're in a fighting RPG game, and we will obviously find ourselves kind of like, well, doing stuff like fighting. So it's kind of a no-brainer. If you are like a lower player and say you're getting stuff like the Harada crystals or lesser crystals, it could be that you get about 100 points for that stuff, 125 there, blah, 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 blah. 7-star Nexus, 7-star crystal, whatever being opened. Let's say effectively, and with ranking up 8 saga champions, let's face it, you may not want to do that. I kind of think mostly a lot of people will just open up the crystals they've been given for free, and then we'll probably just like not worry too much about ranking up, and largely focus on saga champions. I think with the current state of things around prestige, ranking up champions is probably more applicable to being more specific than being quite to the solo event focused, like less about saga champions, unless they're high signature, or not high signature, or maybe high signature, high prestige versus, practicality, all that kind of stuff, right? So yeah, I think that's where kind of people's focus will be with that one. So here's my point about spending money and also spending your units, because both are very important if you're non-spending, and of course for those that are spending. Your focus on stuff is, if you're spending money and you're not interested in anything that's Fantastic Force orientated, and by the way, buy through the Summoners Market because it's better, you get better stuff, and also get that kind of like spending track side of things. So don't go through here for the spending. Maybe we'll kind of cover the back of that in a second. But from the unit perspective, where you've got Valiant Bundle 1, 2, 3, and 4, and of course different progressions of different things, focus on what is going to make gains. Is it going to be more 7-star shards for lower players? Is it going to be stuff, and this is going to rear its head again, but I think it's going to be not rank up gems, because a lot of players that are looking to raise prestige would probably look to ranking up. Well, maybe a ranked 1 to 2 and a 2 to 3 will help you get a champion up, and then you can rank for them. Maybe, and it saves you resources. And again, maybe. The 7-star signature stones, I think, are going to be more valuable now, or have that element of being more valuable to you in order to help raise prestige of champions. So you may look upon those. But if in terms of, if you can wait off the more generic stuff for Cyber Weekend, I think you can get more as a result. But these are kind of like lowering unit price than I've seen them in a little while. So that could be a good opportunity. If I was to do it, I personally wouldn't. But that's mainly because I find them incredibly specific. And if you're going to get them in order to get the solo event done, that's a false economy, because you're going to do it anyway, because you only need to do 250 fights or 500 fights or whatever fights in order to get this done. So yeah, look at it from a perspective of what you want to get out of it. And if you're spending, it's best to go to the web store in any case, because you can still get Summoners Fest market points. And this is kind of like it's not necessarily a problem, but it's like, I know that players are on about like, well, ranking, how does the rank system of Summoner Fest work? Well, at least you get that. Loyalty points as well with this one. I don't know if you get any extras. There's research grants added to this one. I don't think they're in the in-game stuff. So there's extra stuff there. It's it's always up to you whether or not you want to spend. There are some good deals out there, but it's very specific. It's not generic. It's specific around saga-based stuff. If you've got something that's got high prestige, you could just spend a bit of money on to ramp up. Maybe you'd want to do that. but it's down to a free choice on that particular matter. But anyway, we're going to conclude there. That has been the video. Kabam have also announced in this, whilst I've been recording this, that there's been an issue with the marketplace, Summoners Market. We'll see what happens with that. Make sure to check out some other content. Of course, support creator code RTM. If you want it, if you ever get back onto the store, if ever the promo code works. But apart from that, thanks for watching. I'll see you all in the next one. Have a lovely day and goodbye.